Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, and thank you for watching this video. I'm going to be flying a fairly simple mission today on IL2. Unfortunately, IL2's got no Pacific fighters, no maps for the Pacific, so we're kind of simulating a New Guinea action here using the Battle for Kuban map. I'm going to be leading a flight of P-38Js. We're going to be taking off from Guinea Airfield, and we've got some ships to attack up here in the river. There's a big air war going on right now that we're going to have to fly through. We've got some P-51 escorts that will hopefully get us there and back safely. So my setup for ground attack, which is one of my favorite things to do, is I'll take extra machine gun ammo, and we're going to go ahead and grab 4,000-pound bombs. Since we're attacking ships, we want the big boys. And I'm also going to be using my custom paint skin that I created myself. So this is the Comic Sans, which is got art from the comic character Gwenpool, who's my favorite comic character. And I hope you enjoy it, and let's take off. Like I said, I'll be flying the P-38. This is J model. Beautiful plane, twin Allison engines with turbo superchargers that increase the density of the air inside the engines at high altitudes. And there goes our escort Mustangs. Check my RPMs, they're looking good. I'm gonna set the pitch trim. And here we go. Now I am carrying slightly more bombs than my flight lead. That's alright. Gonna try and get into formation here. Got my gear up. I want to watch right now. I'm using Ascension power, which is full throttle, full RPMs. I'm gonna quickly back it off to climbing power, about 42 inches of mercury, and I believe at about 3,000 RPMs. I'll have to check the manual again. I was able to find a P-38 manual. I'll post a link to that into the description for those of you that are interested in this wonderful plane. It's got a lot of great information that I'm working on memorizing, but there's a lot of stuff there. So for now, I've actually got the game here helping me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to what the game calls continuous mode, continuous operation. I'm going to go ahead and pull into formation with the rest of my flight. Now that I've set my RPMs a little bit lower, I can just kind of manage the throttle. I want to be careful that I'm not putting too much manifold pressure in there. And we'll be flying formation till we reach altitude, and I'll go ahead and fast forward till we get some action. Alright, and we're coming up on our target now. In fact, if I zoom in on the river, I can see them. I don't know if you guys can. But we've got some ships, some enemy ships, that are sailing up the river to deliver some supplies. So we're going to follow my flight lead as he banks left. It looks like the skies are clear, which is great for me. I love ground attacks, so kind of a lousy shot with the 38 in air combat, but that's alright, because I do pretty okay on the bomb drops and on the strafing runs. Yeah, I spoke just a little bit too soon. I'm seeing some dots over there in the distance, which could be an enemy patrol, it could be a friendly patrol. think we're the only bomb group that HQ is sending out on this mission, so there's not very many options of what it could be. So you'll notice that we're actually kind of taking a low turning dive. We're not really diving sharply. P-38 does work great as a dive bomber, but it runs into compressibility issues if you dive too steep. So our flight leader, you can see him right here, is going to take us on a nice easy turn around the target. And I'm going to follow him. I'm his number 2. So I'm going to follow just off his left wing here, which is what works best for me. I'm going to try now and match his speed and formation. A lot better than I did while we were traveling. Just going to try and match him move for move. I'm actually really kind of feathering the throttle here to try and keep pace with him. But this is one of my favorite things to do in a flight sim. It's incredibly satisfying to be able to just stick right up on someone. Alright, looks like he's starting to bring us in our attack run now. Can see the ships right there. He's going to break off and take one of them, and I'm going to take this middle one. He's actually going to drop his bombs probably a lot higher than me. And pickle times 2. I'm dropping 2 bombs so I don't overbalance myself. And you'll notice by the orange flare on that, it was a good hit. Looks like my flight lead neglected to drop his. I might have gotten in his way a bit. So now I'm going to check up, and even though I've got 2 bombs left, take some time to look for fighters. When you're in enemy airspace, you got to be really careful about that, because they could come at you at any second. Speaking of which, that's a single-tailed airplane. That's either one of the Mustangs, or someone I don't like is getting ready to invite me to a party. So I'm going to go on a steeper dive now. We already sunk one of the ships. Let's see if we can get 2. Pickle times 2. And pull up. That looked good. We've got company now. In fact, the rest of my flight, based on those radio messages, is hung up engaging fighters. So I'm going to check and see if this guy is friendly or not. The way he's circling around me makes me think that he is not a friend. And he's turning right into me. Yeah, and I think that was the Iron Cross I just spotted. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to combat efficiency mode. I'm going to give myself maneuvering flaps. Line them up. Double check my target. Yeah. It's definitely Jerry up to no good. So I'm not gonna actually... see, I fired right in between where I needed to. I fired ahead and behind him there. Luckily, I know what I do wrong when I do it. What I do now is I'm going to try and take advantage of the P-38's natural tendencies. I'm not going to try and get every single shot, but I'm going to try and outfly him. So if I can get a little bit of energy here, I dipped down, kind of pulled him down a bit, but now I've got the altitude, burned some energy to get up here. But if I can keep him with the turn, I force him to pull away. Yeah, he's trying to climb up to get to me now. As long as I can turn with him, and he doesn't catch me on the inside, then I've got him. Drop my maneuverability flaps. Trim out the airplane. See, now he's gotten to my level. The turn battle really is the P-38's worst weakness. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dive down, grab my energy, spend some of it to cut in on the inside, and I'm not going to be able to pull up with him. That's alright. Here we go. So I got a little closer there. I'm trying to make him a little uncomfortable. Pull down again. I'll have a whole lot of altitude left. Not a whole heck of a lot of energy left for me to trade off. Stalemate's good for me though. I'm gonna back away and spend the last of my energy trying to just change this stalemate into something that I can use. Yeah, he got some shots off on me, but they went wide. So he got greedy. And now I'm on him again. So he's gonna dive out. I'm gonna pull an Immelman. Recover. I'm gonna try and climb. Keep an eye on my speed. I've gone below 150, so that's no good. 150 miles per hour is the optimal climb rate for the 38. So if you get below it, yeah, he turned into me. Let's just try and wave him off a bit. Got him. Lost him. Oh, nope, there he is. Looks like he's gonna turn into me again. Okay. Beat him on that one. I'm gonna turn into him again. I'm at 150, so I'm climbing just like I went to. Oh, that's perfect. Here we go. So now he's kind of gasping for energy, and I can just nail him. Got him. That was a good hit. You saw parts of him, his plane got shot off there. A little wobbly, which is exactly what I want. I'm going to be nice and patient now. Check my 6 every once in a while. So again, like, I want to lead the target. So if I feel like, you know, he's pulling away, I'm kind of watching for these oscillations in our turn. Watching for him to kind of pull away from me in the turn. Watching for the right time for me to pull in. I might not have hit him good enough. He's still got a lot of turning power there. Thought I hit him with one of my cannons. Okay, I'm gonna climb back up. Got a little bit of energy, not a ton, but a bit. And try not to lose him in the cloud there. There he is. Coming around. Try and get that energy on him again. Oh, there he is. Got him. That's a fuel leak. He's trying to cut power, force me to overshoot. Kind of a dangerous dance now, because if I overshoot him, then he'll nail me. But if I cut power too much and he boosts, he can just get right away. But that's not happening today. That's a kill. Now I need to try and find the rest of my group. I'm gonna go back to continuous mode. That's a shoot. Looks like we've got a bit of a furball over there and over there. So we must have gotten bounced by it, because the rest of my group never did drop their bombs. Trying to get eyes on the boats. Yeah, the only boats that are sunk are the ones I got, and that usually means that the planes that I was with had to go defensive and avoid some enemy fire. So unfortunately right now, because I'm only playing with AI and not human players, I've got no way of figuring out where they went. And since I'm a ground attack airplane and I've cleared the immediate threat, I'm going to start heading home. So right now my compass indicates that I'm heading south, and just take a look at the river to find where I am. Due south will do me just fine. Alright, I've made it back to base. Mission was 60% successful. We sunk 2 out of the 3 enemy ships. I might be the only one that made it back. I've got no clue. I heard the call in that red flight was landing, and I see a chute over there. Which means... oh no, that's not a chute. Those are lights. Cool. So at least someone made it back. Looks like, based on what I'm seeing on the radio communications, that's our escort. So our escort made it back. We might not have, but they did. So I'm going to go ahead and give it full flaps now. Full flaps will act as an air brake. Kind of help slow my plane down as I come in for a landing. You'll notice my nose is pointing down by a bit. Trying to lose altitude and speed at the same time. So I gotta be really careful. Now this is a tricycle landing gear, but I do not want to land on the nose. So what I'm doing right now is trying to get my altitude such so that I can have a good angle of attack for the landing. And so far we're looking pretty good. So right now I'm just looking at my reticle. I'm trying to keep that on the far side of the airfield. But I also want, you know, I can kind of see my altitude as that green part where the trees are fills up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my throttle to kind of manage my height. I need to go lower, I'll cut throttle. If I need to go higher, I'll use more throttle. I'm just basically holding the joystick at a steady position. I'm going to put the gear down now, which will make me fairly nose heavy, so I'm going to have to give it more throttle. Stork 1 has landed, so at least one of my guys got back home safely. Mustang crossing the airstrip. So I'm just going to do a little course change so I don't hit him. Coming in a little steep, so I'll give it just a little bit more. Cut the throttle a bit. Front two wheels are down. Small bounce there. Mustang landed at the same time as me. The AI do wonderful things. So I'm gonna cut the throttle. I don't see the buddy that landed, but I heard it come in over the comms. He might have had to bail out at another airstrip. Well, that concludes this mission. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm thinking of starting an actual campaign, but in the meantime, I look out for more fun videos. Have a great one.